Hello everybody, this is Rich again. I just wanted to come back with a quick follow-up video of my Paris build, which incredibly made it into the top 5 of Paul's Skooled Zone settlement building competition. I was thrilled and a little surprised that I made it into the top 5. There were a lot of good builds out there, and I was ecstatic that Paul liked mine enough to put it into the top 5. And even more so, I was thrilled that so many people got to see it and like it and enjoy it, and a few of you even voted for it, and that really made me proud and happy. But I just want to do a quick follow-up for some things that I may have missed in the first 2 videos that I did, and I apologize for having 2 videos like I did. At the time, I was so brand new. Those were the first videos I'd ever made, and I didn't know how to do it. And PlayStation 4 has a video size limit of 15 minutes when you make a clip. But my new good friend, D.A. Galahad, who also placed in the top 5, showed me how to change the settings and fix it so I don't have to keep doing 15 minutes increment videos. But there were, like I said, a few things that I didn't get to in the time that I had, and I wanted to just show them and talk about them. And but so anyway, and I didn't want to do it after the fact because the video, the concept had already been submitted, and it would have been late, and it wouldn't have felt right to put extra video clips into the video, into the competition or anything like that. But anyway, so here we are at my Paris settlement at Starlight Diner Drive-In. And the first thing about my settlements, which I always try and do, is I always want to have a full... it needs to be a working settlement. It can't just be there for buildings, but it has to be a working environment, because this is a real game where I want to come to my settlements and have all 6 stores. I want to have enough settlers that seem to be doing things. I want to have surplus food and surplus water and surplus things. So it has to be a working, living environment. And and here's the painter. In the first video I did about this, I talked about these painting stands where this Picasso would go around town painting the environment, because the art world that's in Paris is just incredible. There's art everywhere. And I just came back from a vacation. I'm such a scatterbrain. My wife and I and family, we just took the kids to Paris, and we spent a week there, and it was phenomenal. I had a blast, and maybe I'll do a comparison video where I compare what I did with how this works. But so the way this guy works is how he's a guard. He stands there at the guard station, and he views what he wants to paint and paints it on this stand that I created. And I'll probably do a video that discusses how these things are made, like a quick construct video that shows how the easels are made, the throne that's in the room, the DJ stand, the refrigerator, a few of the other things that were unique to my settlement that I hadn't seen elsewhere. But so like I said, this has to be a working settlement, but let's just go through it real quick again. I'll show you a few things that I missed the first time through. Now, in the first video I did, I asked everyone if they knew what this sign meant and who these people were. There's a little Easter egg that I threw in for this unstoppable sign for the Moulin Rouge theater and the people that were starring in it. So Allard, for those of you who do or maybe don't know, Allard stands for Kent Allard, which is the alter ego of the Shadow, for whom the Silver Shroud is based upon. Curie stands for Arthur Curry, who is the alter ego of Aquaman. Clearly that's Manta Man in the Fallout world. And Howard's a little bit different. Howard is for Robert E. Howard, the creator of Conan the Barbarian, of whom Grognak is based on, of course. But Conan doesn't have an alter ego. It's just Conan. Now the other 2, I actually had to do some digging, a little bit of digging, and looked it up. And the one who looks like a half magician, half ringleader, her name is actually the Inspector. And the woman wearing the feathered tiara and the silky dress, her name is actually the Mistress of Mystery. But I don't know of any real world counterparts that they have in comic books. I'm not sure who they're supposedly based upon. But yeah, I really did like this theater, and I want to do another one like this. And like I said, since I just got back from Paris, it made me want to completely redo this whole thing, and even better than the first time. But like I said, I'll post a video that shows how this throne is made and how that comes about, and a few other things. But yeah, Paris is just amazing. I hope everyone has a chance to go visit at least once. It is a beautiful, gorgeous city. So here is my Louvre, which I talked about, and I wanted to give you a little dirty secret. So this distressed part here, this where it's all broken down. Obviously, it worked out really well as a game mechanic, and I kind of like the difference between like a well-built building and have everything look neat and orderly, and have this building that was literally, you know, just shattered and purposely busted out, which I don't see too many people do too often. But there's a real world reason why it was done this way. See, there's the fence, and when I made this build, I initially measured it all out, and it is on the northern border. It is 33 cubes wide, but here on the southern end it is only 31. So I had to make this whole thing less wide. This building couldn't be as wide as it was at the top as it is down here at the bottom. So I needed something, and I couldn't even get all the walls to fit on this because it's so close to the edge. Let's see if I can show you how close to the edge this all is. But it is right on the edge of the building limit. You can even see it's even going over just a little bit. So I couldn't, you see how it makes that weird little divot there? It is not a square location, which I didn't realize when I first started building. And that really inhibited my ability to build here. So I made this hollowed out section as a reason as to why this building is short. But one thing that I thought was really neat is this road, when it comes along, had all these boards and everything on it. These are native to the game. I didn't put them in here, but they really lended to the fact that this thing was blown out, that these were actually here before I even started building anything. And you know, obviously this is the area like where there's like stuff that was in here. There's some bedding was in there or something like that, and some rad roaches you have to kill when you get into this room. But back to the Louvre. The other thing I wanted to show about the Louvre, which I didn't go into. Oh, well, let me deal with this with the painting right here while I'm talking about it. So these painting things, like I said, this is actually just a guard station. I'll show you how it looks right here. So there's the guard post. When you pull it up, it raises up to the, you know, and it sits right there. He stands at the middle of it and looks like he's painting the environment as he sees it. But what's neat about these is when you stuff them into the ground with the pillar glitch, a guard will still stand there. So you can completely dictate where settlers stand. If you want to have a static settler that stands in one spot at all times, bury a guard post like that, set him up as a single guard that guards one thing and one thing only, and he will stay where you want him to go. So it's a good place to put a settler exactly where you want him to be, is to use a guard post in this manner, and it doesn't look like it's a guard post there. I used a similar thing with the Moulin Rouge over here. This guard here sits and is my ticket window, and I actually wish I'd buried this even further. I should have buried this even further now that I think about it, and just made the window stand there. But I wasn't sure how far the guard post being buried would allow her to stand at her post. And the other trick, of course, is you have to make sure that there's no other guard posts around, because guards will automatically pick the first 3 available empty guard posts that you have. So making sure there's only one if you want to do that. So back to my Louvre, I really like these pillars, the posts here really add to the vibe of the thing. And you can see all the windows are blocked, and they're actually all blocked by paintings, because like the real Louvre, you can't see in any windows because they're all actually blocked by paintings. But I wanted to show one last thing in here. In my first video, or actually my second video, I asked if anyone could guess what the one Creation Club thing in here, in this room is. And it may have hurt my chances in terms of winning, because I know there's a strict no Creation Club thing, but the piece is so small and it doesn't affect anything. It's not like anything that mattered. But the one piece that it was actually this thing right here. This minigun has a Brotherhood of Steel skin on it, which came from the Creation Club, and I didn't realize it until after I'd already placed it in here, and I didn't feel like building another minigun, so I just left it. Like I said, it didn't affect anything. You can still make the minigun without the skin, and it's all the same, but that was the one item. And I don't know if any eagle-eyed viewers got it. There were a few guesses, but no one got it right. But that was the one Creation Club thing in this entire settlement that I had in here. So that was my a little bit about the Louvre, and I never really showed this off the Hall of Portraits, which is of course just the posters that come with it. But as you can see, they block all they purposely serve as to block all the windows, just like the real Louvre does. But going out, I wanted to show the Eiffel Tower and actually go up to the top, because I foolishly never did when I made my first videos. And here is the Eiffel Tower. This is one of the best views of it as you come through my quote-unquote village. And let me show you real quick this here, the garden area, which I never show, where all the gardening gets done. The little central quad that all these buildings surround, this central area, and that's a legit thing. These really are how the neighborhoods spring up. They all built around these little squares, these little gardens, and they exist. And you'll also notice that I have like no wires showing through this thing, because this thing is massively wired underground. I'm going to show you one piece right here where there's like a whole bunch of it. So right under there is one of the wires, and that controls a lot of what I have going on here. But this whole settlement is wire glitched up the wazoo. There's a few bunch more. Those are coming from the Eiffel Tower and doing a couple other things.
Taught those raiders a lesson.
Oh yeah, we sure did. But let's go up to the Eiffel Tower. And it's funny because the real Eiffel Tower actually works like this as well. You have to take one elevator up to the restaurant layer, the level, if you want to go to that. There's actually two restaurants up there. One is called the Jules Verne, as I mentioned in the video. The other one is actually called 58 Tour Eiffel, which means 58 Eiffel Tower. And it's called 58 because it's 58 meters above ground. I thought that was kind of neat. And I actually ate there when we were in Paris. I went and ate at the 58. Couldn't eat at the Jules Verne. It's too expensive. Hopefully the DJ goes back down and does spin some tunes for us before we leave. But let's go up to the top and actually see this thing. So yeah, then you have to take another elevator up to the second level of the Eiffel Tower. Don't fall off, please. And that's got some really great views of the city itself. But of course, everyone wants to go pay full price and get up to the top. Oh, actually, there's a good view of the submarine from this view. Another reason why I should have got up here. But there's my submarine, Jules Verne, the Nautilus 2. And I really wish that I had, when I first did this build, this is my first playthrough character. And like I said, I spend most of the time blowing stuff up and not properly saving things for being a quote-unquote master builder. And this character has never gone through Nuka World. So I didn't have access to those cool rockets that you get when you complete that section of the Nuka World content. And it's just too bad, because it would have looked so much better with those little rockets on the wings or any of the other places. But that also brings up another point. So I want to put more videos out. I've got some more builds that I want to show you guys. I got a whole bunch of builds on my Grognak character, and all those builds are based upon all Schwarzenegger movies, because I thought that was funny, since of course Schwarzenegger played Conan, and a few other things. But I'm also putting together a series, hopefully, of, and I don't want to step on Paul's toes, of a walkthrough of how to create, I need to get rid of that wood board there, that's weird, how to create a proper master builder. What steps you need to take, what skills you need to have, what missions you need to do so that you actually have all the building equipment that you can possibly have. For example, you need to do the Cabot House mission just to get those 3 portraits that you get when you complete the building. You get these 3 unique portraits that are all based upon the Cabot family and everything like that. But this character had not done the Cabot House walkthrough, so I don't have those 3 portraits, but they would have been perfect in my Hall of portraits in the Louvre. But there is a good view of the Louvre right there, and all the other worlds. Like I said, the submarine, you have a great view. This is as high as the settlement goes, and I actually thought it went higher, but this is actually 10 blocks high, but I do wish that it had been higher, but it threw off the proportion of the Eiffel Tower. There is a real symmetry to the Eiffel Tower in terms of how wide it is versus how tall it is. And this is what I was up. There's outpost. Nope. What's that? That's that satellite dish Olivia for the Abernathy quest. But yeah, you get some great views from up top here. And this flag, I just want to say, was the biggest pain in the butt to glitch up here, because this floor, the floors of these Vault-Tec nuclear reactors don't actually act as floor use. You can't put anything in it. So I had to build this whole rig outside of the Eiffel Tower and then rug glitch the flag into this area. It was just such a pain. But all worth it. Everything's worth it, of course. So, but yeah, this is my Paris build. Oh, and the other walkthrough I wanted to, the other part, if I ever put out any other videos, the other thing that I wanted to showcase, this person walking on the pyramid right there. That's interesting. I love that pyramid. That thing actually came out really good. I was really proud about that. My actual house, I live in Boston, Massachusetts. In fact, my real world house is actually located at Nordhagen Beach, the settlement that is just outside of Boston Airport. So, and I love the comparison between real world and Fallout world environments. So I think what I might do is I'll put together a series where we discuss parts in the Fallout world and their real world counterparts. I still love that, the rocket. You can see the little purple lights are dangling off it just to give it that glow. But like, you know, I'll take you to the real world sanctuary. It's a real place. It really exists. A friend of mine, ESO, actually, when he came to Boston one day, I actually took him to go and see it because he wanted to. So ESO, of course, does videos of Skyrim and Fallout nature as well, and so he really was curious about what the real world sanctuary is. But like, not just sanctuary, but like, and I've seen a couple of videos where they might do something where like they'll show the Fallout State House and then a still picture of what the State House actually looks like, or the, you know, the Faneuil Hall, which is a real place, or Old North Church, and all they ever do is they just show a clip of the thing and then a still photo of what the building looks like. And I don't know, I think it could be far more in depth because there's a lot of time and energy that went into creating this game, and it is so true to life that I think it deserves acknowledgement. So I really wish this guy would go back to doing his DJ thing, which, by the way, I completely based this guy off those European DJs. Like, I think his name is Deadmau5, which is like Dead Mouse, and he wears those big mouse ears over his head, and Skillrex. He doesn't actually wear a costume, but all those silly DJs with their ridiculous get-ups and costumes. And I really thought that the iBot really made that really work. And a couple of viewers of the videos pointed that out. But yeah, this is my thing. Hopefully a few of you guys will turn into the few bits of work they put in. There's my Phantom of the Opera guy again. I still like this guy. He's my favorite. Not my favorite. The painter's my favorite. But I do like my Phantom of the Opera. He works really well. Yeah. Hopefully a few guys will show interest in this. So stick around. And again, thanks for everybody who watched the video. Thanks for everybody who voted for my video. I was happy with what I'd done. I was thrilled to be in the contest. I was thrilled to be in the top 5. And again, thanks to everybody who participated in any way, shape, or form. It's been a great thing. Paul put together a wonderful channel, environment, and community, and he really deserves a lot of acknowledgement for that. And but there we go. Thanks again, everybody, and stay tuned. Hopefully, I'll put some new stuff out soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.